Boom!
Boom! Welcome to another episode of Mike Sports. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Landry. Landry, this time back in front of us. He escaped Afghanistan and is back with us tonight.
That's right. It's party time.
That's right. Clearly, the PSA private jet was able to get you out of there.
Yeah, I got in the landing gear. I was one of the few people that survived in the landing gear.
Nice. Well, congratulations. That's a great accomplishment.
That's right.
Speaking
right into football. Let's do it.
Yeah, speaking of accomplishments, dude, we made it. It's week 1. After, I think I put it in our description of this episode, after what felt like about 432 days, it's finally time for some football. So let's get this thing started. We're going to talk a lot about the Dallas-Tampa game tonight, but I want to start, I'm going to do something different tonight since both our teams are your team is on tomorrow night and the Eagles are on Sunday at 1. We're going to work backwards. We're going to start with the Monday Night Football game and work our way up to our teams.
Definitely.
All right. So let's start it off. The Ravens and the Raiders. Now, did you know Baltimore has won their last 3 opening day games by a total by 30-plus points each game?
I did not know that. That's actually pretty interesting.
So, the only reason I know that is because it's on the NFL little stat line here in the game description that I'm looking at. But so I can act like I'm really smart and knew that. But, the truth is I can just read. And for that reason, I'll say Ravens by 30 because history says that's what's going to happen.
And who are they? Where's the schedule? Let's see. Who are they playing?
That is at the Raiders. They are
okay, you did say Raiders.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you said Ravens twice. I'm like, man.
That's right.
The Ravens. A tough game, man. Or an easy game, depending on how you want to look at it. Yeah, I'm going Ravens, no doubt.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Ravens are better than the Steelers, better than the Browns. I have them ranked higher than you do this season.
Sure.
So I think the Ravens got something to prove this season.
All right, like I said, we are working backwards tonight. So let's go to the Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. This to me, dude, this is Rams all day, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you on that one. I hope Justin Fields takes the field. No pun intended. But I hope he takes the field and we see a little dashing. How cool would it be? Well, okay, let me start off with not cool and then cool. Okay. How not cool would it be if the starting quarterback got injured, Justin Fields got put in, and we took down the Rams?
Well, I mean, look, it'd be interesting. It would just show that, Justin Fields is here and he's ready. And yeah. I think he should be playing as well, just because, I think it's your best option. Andy Dalton, he didn't get it done last year with the Cowboys. Dude, the guy got jettisoned by the Cincinnati Bengals. You know how bad you got to be to get cut by the Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, look, my leg lamp is ultra bright in this episode because this is so close. I notice it gets brighter as I get closer to football season. So I think we could see some upsets. I think the Rams are going to take it from a logical standpoint.
Sure,
but I feel like Chicago's got some wind behind them with their pick and their enthusiasm.
Well, it could be interesting. Like you said, if Justin Fields plays, it becomes a much more intriguing game. Yeah. But as it stands right now, with all the talk that Andy Dalton's going to be playing, this is to be Rams going away.
Yeah, gingers don't win football games. All right.
Yeah, well, they don't have souls, so it's the problem. All right, so next up, Dolphins at the Patriots. I know as an Eagles fan and the fact that the Eagles hold the Dolphins' first-round draft pick, I'm rooting hard for the Patriots because I just want the Dolphins to lose every game. So I'm pulling for the Patriots.
I'm not going for the Patriots. I think the Patriots are just going to win the game.
Yeah. I mean, the logical side of me also says I think the Patriots are going to. I think the Patriots are going to be a really good football team this year.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones is going to surprise people how consistent he plays as a good starting rookie quarterback.
And I think the acquisitions they made in free agency, just everything. I like a lot of what New England's doing right now.
Yeah, and the word I'm going to use is consistent. I just think they're going to be more consistent.
Cam
kept them in that, if you go back and look at the Pats schedule last year and who they played and how they won and lost, They lost a lot of games by like 3 points, one
Mhm.
touchdown, or just didn't have the ball in the last possession, so lost the game. I mean, they easily could have had 4 to 5 more wins than they did last season if it wasn't for the last 5 minutes not going their way.
Sure.
And that's telling. You change out quarterbacks, that could be the difference maker, where even if they only get 3/4 of those wins and they get 3 of those wins, they're a wild card team.
Oh, absolutely. And look, any team can look at it and say, hey, play here, play there, and we win that game, and then we win that game, and, get a couple more wins, and you're a playoff team. No, maybe except for the Eagles last year. That would have meant they got like 6 wins instead of 4. But you get my point. Like, those are winning teams, championship caliber teams make those plays and get those wins in those big moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now that brings us to a couple teams who I don't think either one of us had on our radar. The Giants hosting the Broncos.
I'm going Broncos.
Yeah, me too.
I think the Giants head coach, Jason Garrett, offensive coordinator, is trying to figure out his role. I think they will improve under Jason Garrett because I think Jason Garrett can run a decent offense.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Giants still suck. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, that logic checks out for me. That's another reason why I like them. We'll say hi to Jay Koch checking in. One J to another J.
Jay Koch with an Eagles logo. Wow, I'm surprised. Right. It's crazy. Not on this show. That's crazy.
I know, right? There are never any Eagles fans on this show. All right. Next up, I'm really looking forward to this game. It's one of the featured games. The Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going Browns because I just want to see Kansas City come out and get walloped right out of the gate.
Well, darn, I thought I was going to get to go alone on this island and just talk about, that I think the Cleveland Browns are going to come out and make a statement that they are a legit team this year.
Okay.
And I still think that's what's going to happen. I think the Browns are going to beat the Chiefs.
No way.
All right. Packers Saints. This game going to be held in Jacksonville because of Hurricane Ida and the damage done in Louisiana. I'm
working on my bobblehead.
Nice.
There we go. Yeah.
To find my bobblehead. I don't know where the heck it is.
Well, you're supposed to be set up pre-show, but I was eating some spaghetti, so I didn't get to it.
All right. So, Packers Saints. I'm going to go Packers. I think the Saints are a little bit in limbo, with the moving around, practicing. They were practicing, I think, in Dallas last week, and then now made the move to Jacksonville for this weekend. I think this is a Green Bay Packers win. This is the Packers are considering this a go for it year. They're going all in, and
I think this is a solid Packers win. I don't think there's any controversy here. I don't think this is like a possible upset or you never know. I'm like, no, this is going to be a straight Packer slam.
Yeah, I agree.
Easy.
All right. Jets at Panthers.
Oh, God. I wonder if one day when organizations and teams just suck really bad, if it's like a cuss word where it just gets bleeped out when you say it. Like you say the two teams and you just don't even hear it. It just... Yeah, right over the freaking name. I'm going to go Panthers because I just don't share your enthusiasm about the Jets.
Well, my enthusiasm was just they weren't going to be quite as much hot garbage as they typically are. That does not mean I think they're a good team. In fact, I think the Carolina Panthers are going to win this week. And my reasoning, aside from the fact that it's the Jets, I actually have a legit other reason. Sam Darnold playing against his former team, I think extra motivation, and plus Carolina's a better football team. Yeah,
look, you put up a pretty strong fight for the Jets in the last segment. If we were playing Madden and the Jets had a score of 0 to 100, 100 being the best, 0 being the worst, what score do you give them as a team? I want to see how far we're off.
Typically, I would put their ratings in the 40s. 42, 43. This year, I think it jumps up into the high 50s, like a 59, maybe even brushing the 60 mark.
Okay.
So still not good, but just better than what they've been.
Okay. I'm going to go about a 48.
Okay. See,
So
like
you're further off than I am, but we're not as far apart as I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're verbally more enthusiastic about the Jets than I am.
Well, okay. If I was going to buy, like, I think the Jets are a team that I would buy stock in long term because I think Robert Saleh, if given the chance, Robert Saleh can be a great coach for the Jets. And although it could be like a Bill Belichick thing where, like, he's a great coach, everybody knows it, but he doesn't have success with the Jets because the Jets organization just won't let him. And then he goes somewhere else.
I mean, hopefully they do good this year since you're wearing a Jets jersey today.
No, this is an Eagles jersey, man.
Oh, damn. Damn, you spoiled it. No way. I never would have thought you wore an Eagles jersey. All right.
I know, right?
You got me again. That's twice in a second you got me. Keep fooling me. Keep fooling me. All right. Who's next?
All right. The Washington Redskins hosting the LA Chargers.
You know, I don't like the Redskins because their name changed and whatnot, but they're still a decent football team. They're well coached.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Redskins over Chargers.
Okay. The line's only 1 point. The Chargers.
Yeah, I got to think about that one because that's
this is a tight matchup.
That's a battle of mediocrity right there.
I mean, I think they're two above mediocre teams, but just like not to the elite level, just above the average.
Okay. Madden score.
I will take the Chargers.
Madden score for the Chargers.
Madden score for the Chargers. I'll say 74.
Okay. I give them a 64. All right. Washington Redskins, Madden score.
They're pretty even with them, 72.
Okay. I put the Redskins about 94. Psych! All right, I'm going to go with...
I was going to say, where's Justin to chime in with his Redskins view?
I don't want to hear that dude. Okay, so the Redskins suck. He goes, I don't like this name change saying I'm going to the Texans. But now that they're getting a little better, he's rooting for him on the side. Like, the guy can't make a sign. He won't go for the Cowboys because he hates the Cowboys because he's a Redskin fan. So he went to the Texans. And then the Texans gave too many massages. So now he's not sure how he feels about the Texans. Ridiculous. All right.
Okay. Next up, Seahawks at the Colts.
I'm going to go Seahawks. I think you're probably going to go Colts.
Yeah. I am, but not for the reason you think. It's Seattle typically struggles early in the season, especially early in the season on the road. And I just think this is one of those spots. It just becomes a tricky spot for them.
I just can't see Russell Wilson losing to the Colts. I can't see it.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen them losing. Like, this isn't like college football where you lose one game and your season's over. Like, I think Seattle will be just fine, but I do think they're going to end up losing this game.
Okay.
All right, Vikings at the Bengals.
Just hadn't done it yet. All right. Vikings. I mean, I'm talking about the freaking Bengals here.
Yeah.
The Bengals are very similar to the Jets, in my opinion. They had a good thing going with Lewis for a while, but that was because, you know, if you're there so long, you're eventually going to have some form of success.
Yeah, law of averages.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, but in general, they're dumpster fires.
Yeah, I would agree. And I just hope for Joe Burrow's sake that he somehow polishes that turd that is the Bengals organization or finds his way out of there some success.
It's funny.
But yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings all day. Another one, I think we're going to see this one. I think we're going to see this one the same. 49ers at the Lions.
Wait, you said the Lions were good last week.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I stand by that.
You stood by the Jets. We might as well just start saying the Giants are going to Super Bowl while you're at it.
Okay. I haven't been drinking that much.
We should. You know what? We should have done the show with a beer. I didn't think about that. We're one day in front of football season. We don't have a beer. All right. I got my leg lamp. Same shit.
Beer. I thought about it as you were jumping on. I thought, damn, do I have time to go run and grab a beer?
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the 49ers in this matchup. And to me, well, yes, I think the lines are going to be much improved. I'm like you. I think the 49ers are going to be a darn good football team this year. I think the 49ers are a playoff team.
They're my dark horse, so I'm going 49ers. I'm going to go 49ers by 14.
Okay. All right. Next up, a great, compelling, wonderful matchup that I know you'll be glued to, the Jags at the Texans.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to the Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars are one of the few road favorites this week.
Yeah, and the Jaguars, schematic-wise, even throughout different coaches, have always performed well against the Texans for whatever reason. Them and the Titans. Don't know what that is. I don't know if it's coaching staff similarities, even though head coaches have changed. I don't. It's kind of weird when you think about it, right? Why do certain teams scheme right against each other, even throughout coaching staff changes over time?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird? It's just like this magnetic force. It's bound to have an even scale game. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I think like historically the Redskins and Eagles, like I feel like it's just always a tight matchup, and I know divisional matchups can be that way. But like typically there's an occasion where like one team blows the other team out. Like there's maybe one example I can think of in my lifetime where the Eagles showed up and just smoked Washington. That was on a Monday night against the same day Donovan McNabb got a contract extension by the Redskins after he gotten traded to Washington, and Michael Vick went out and lit him up like freaking video game style.
And was McNabb bitter?
Yeah, I'm sure
he's always bitter.
And apparently T.O. wants to fight him.
For real?
Yeah, he wants to have like a boxing match or something with him.
Hey,
I think
it's probably a moneymaker. When you guys many kids, it's T.O. It never hurts to get another check in the bank.
Right? All right, Cardinals at Titans.
Titans all day, baby.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, I thought you were going to go Cardinals.
No,
you're going to give me a debate here.
I like Arizona this year. Like I told you, I like them a lot. But Tennessee, I think, is just one of those elite. There's a lot of teams in week one that I see, like, I kind of like their organization and where they're at going forward, but just drawing really tough matchups in week one. And this is one of them. Tennessee is going to be one of those elite teams that's going to be there in late January, maybe playing in February. All right. Next up, and this is going to be another fun matchup, Steelers-Bills.
Ooh, is Steelers at the Bills?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is going to be a good match. Tomlin is good out of the gate usually in his seasons.
Right.
And the Bills are, still coming off a hangover, I guess, so to speak, of a devastating beatdown in their playoff game. I'm going to go Steelers because I think the Steelers have the stronger mentality. I think the Bills are going to have to get a little dust off them from last season. And then once they get rolling, they're going to get back to norm. I just don't think they're going to come out of the gate like that.
Sure. Now, I, of course, am going to take the Buffalo Bills.
Sure, but I'm going 100% opposite. But I'm sure you anyways.
No, I respect your opinion. Right. I just think you're full of shit.
Yeah.
No, I do think the Bills win, but it's going to be a tight game. The line is, I think, 6.5 or something. Buffalo's favored by like 6.5 or 7.5 points. Yeah. Like, to me, it's just crazy. That's way too many points. That to me says Las Vegas knows something.
I'm thinking 10 points. I give them 10.
I'm saying Buffalo's favored by 7.5.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I thought you were saying Buffalo was going to be down by 10. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm saying the line for Vegas is 7.5.
Maybe there's some kind of injury we don't know about. Maybe Big Ben's got a sore shoulder. Maybe Mike Tomlin's eyes are coming further out of his.
Maybe somebody else,
Yeah. Or maybe, Tomlin went and hired a coach that gets in bar fights on the side and attacks players.
Sure.
You never know.
God, that'd be crazy if that ever happened, right?
Hey, what's his name still on the Steelers? Who's the backup quarterback? Is it Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph.
Is he still there?
Yeah, I believe so. Okay. Yeah, because it was him and Haskins competing for the backup quarterback job.
Right. Haskins probably said, coach, he plays a lot better than me. He's looking better than me, but I don't try to hit people with helmets.
I mean,
so he's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and
comeback. That's a good retort.
I'm going to think about making you a starter.
I don't try to assault guys with deadly weapons.
Exactly. Ridiculous. Anyways.
All right, so it's time to talk about our two matchups. First, you know what? Last year,
let's go Eagles first.
Yeah, last year I tended to go a lot more Cowboys first and then talk Eagles. But because the Cowboys are in the first game this week, we'll save them to the end. So, Eagles-Falcons. Let's expand our thoughts here. I mean, you can whoever you think is going to win, but then we can expand on it.
I think it's going to be a slaughter. I think Eagles are going to slaughter the Falcons. Not even going to be a game.
Okay.
I see a 17 to 21 point lead on the Falcons.
Nice. Hey, I'll sign up. It's so funny. I feel like between you and I'm higher on the Cowboys this year than you are, and you're higher on the Eagles than I am.
No, it's true. We are flip-flopped. I've watched some Hard Knocks, and I know my team and the way they usually run, and, they're cold openers. Cowboys have always been cold openers, except for, even in their Super Bowl year, they got beat in the first couple of games a couple of times. Well, Emmitt Smith held out.
The second year when Emmitt held out, they lost.
Yeah, Emmitt held out. We got her whooped up on, which goes to show that even with a great offensive line, not having that running back piece behind that offensive line changed their game plan.
It's right, because that was always my retort whenever anybody would say, oh, well, anybody can run behind that offensive line. And I'd say, well, how come when Emmitt Smith was out, they lost both the games that he wasn't playing in? Yeah. Every other member of the triplets, they managed to have a nice winning record when one of them was out. When
the game that he was back,
yeah,
the freaking dudes, he ran for 117 yards that game.
Mm-hmm.
The previous game, we had run for 46. So, I mean, obviously there's a difference.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm thinking Eagles. Let me talk Falcons first. Falcons suck. I'm not going to go into details. To me, the Falcons just still don't look like a good football team. I read up on a couple practices and preseason games. I watched the 4-minute highlights on YouTube. Most of the teams that are playing, like the Eagles or the Cowboys and the Redskins, just kind of see what our division is going to look like after this first round. The Falcons just don't look that great to me.
Yeah, look, I don't think the Falcons look good. I think it's one of those things. I do think Atlanta's offense is going to move the ball some. Mike Davis is going to get some good runs. Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts, I think, will have some success. Justin Gage, they're going to need him to step up in Atlanta. But I agree. I don't think it's going to be enough. If they kept Julio, it could have been a different story. It could have at least been compelling.
Yeah.
I think that, I do think the Eagles are going to win. My prediction actually on the Football Smack Talk show was just a 3-point game. I had the Eagles winning 34-31. But, I mean, and I still kind of feel that way just because I think the Eagles defense is going to struggle some, not having Rodney McLeod back yet. They're going to probably start Quentin Epps at safety. And that scares the bejesus out of me.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think the Falcons' defense is junk. So I think Jalen Hurts has a lot to prove, and I think he's going to use his first game to really.
I think the Eagles will score a ton of points too.
So I'm thinking, like I said, I'm not saying a 21-0 lead or anything like that. It's like the Falcons are going to get held out of the end zone, but let me put my score a little. What am I thinking here? I'm thinking 13 to maybe 28, like something in that range. It's just I just don't think. I think the first quarter will be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
After halftime, I think the Eagles are like, all right, and I think Jalen Hurts gets his mojo, starts doing his thing. Like I said, he's the guy that he doesn't make mistakes, in my opinion. He's much more conservative with the football. He's got some legs. I just think you have a very safe football team this year as comparison to Wentz when he was, throwing interceptions left and right in the last couple of years. I think that's why Jalen looked like such. It wasn't that Jalen was blowing it up with post pattern bombs 80 yards and scoring all over the field. It's that he just didn't turn the ball over all the time.
Well, it's interesting. Like those quarterbacks that are those scrambling types that people talk about, like, and Jalen is one of them, one of those guys who can make plays with his legs. You know what they don't do? They don't throw interceptions. You know why? Because they look at it like, okay, my first read, if he's not wide open, my second read's not open, I'm taking off.
And not to mention, Jalen Hurts is not that guy who's like, I'm going to duck my head down and try to get an extra 2 yards. No, Jalen Hurts will just keep running out of bounds. Running 5 yards, get out of bounds. He's got more of a Mahomes.
I would much rather our quarterback be smart and stay on the
Jalen Hurts is smart, safe, and gains yards. He really doesn't, like I said last time, lack a better word because his last name's Hurts. He just doesn't hurt your football team. He may not always take it over the hump that it needs to go over, but he also doesn't take you backwards. And I think that's an asset that Eagles fans who are bent out of shape about losing Wentz just don't think about.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things he's going to do, and I think he did do that in the 4 games that he played last year, is when he doesn't turn the ball over, which, the second half in Dallas, he had a bad half. And, look, I was the guy saying guys can have bad games like Carson Wentz and rebound and have nice careers. And so I can say the same thing about Jalen Hurts. He had a bad second half in Dallas. But overall, in the 4 games that he played in, I would say he played very well. And he was smart with the football. And if you're smart with the football, you give your team a chance, eventually you're going to make the plays and you're going to get your team over the hump. Look, if you're a team in this league right now, like all you ever hope for is that you have an opportunity in the fourth quarter. And I think with the way Jalen is disciplined with the football, the Eagles will in each game, well, in most games anyway, they will have an opportunity in the fourth quarter to win the game. Whether or not they're going to do it, that remains to be seen. But I think
who do y'all play second this year?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the 49ers start off with 2 straight road games.
Yeah, I think 49ers probably take that game. Is it in Philadelphia?
So. Yeah.
I'll still take it. I just don't think they'll take it by as much.
It's funny. The other night on the Football Smack Talk show, Ryan and I went through the Eagles' schedule each week and predicted wins and losses. We actually didn't have the Eagles winning their first home game until November 21st against the New Orleans Saints. We're like, and I think it's just a product of.
So what did y'all end on record-wise? What did y'all end up with?
I think I had the Eagles at 8-9. He had them at 7-10. And now, granted, with the way the NFC East has been, they could be right in there to win the NFC East.
I think 8-9 is probably – it sounds about right to me.
Yeah, like that was my prediction. I said they're going to go 8-9. And
we're going to see what your coach is made of too.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see if he basically unleashes Hurts with a bunch of modernized, offensive style play, or if he keeps it conservative and just uses his talent to move the ball.
Well, if Indianapolis, his job as the Colts offensive coordinator is any indication, he's going to want to run the football. He's going to want to use multiple backs. And
I think that's good. I think the Eagles have lacked a proper running game for a long time. Mm-hmm. A lot of that had to do with Reed, because Reed was, a 90% passer, a 10% running kind of coach.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can see that in Kansas City as well. He uses, Hill as more of like a half running back, half receiver than anything, instead of having a true running back. But you guys at one point had taken a stab at it when you had Kelly there, and you went and you got our dude from the Cowboys. It looked like y'all were going to maybe reinvest in the running back area. And then, of course, he got let go. He brought a new coach and went back to majority passing game. I can't remember. Maybe you can enlighten me. The last time the Eagles have had a true running game. Ricky Waters?
Yeah, you might be going back that far. I mean, commitment to the
I can't believe I remember that. I don't know how that has popped in my head. Ricky Waters. I just remember him and Green. That's all I recall. And I was like, I think
that's a good call, man. That's a good pull. Now, granted, I mean, they had good running backs since then. Brian Westbrook, Deuce Staley, and LaShawn McCoy. But
you had producers. You just had to have a dedicated, workhorse running back.
Yeah. Like I would say that year 95, Thunder and Lightning, Ricky Waters and Charlie Gardner. That was the last time that they were really that committed to the run game.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get on to, I know, the one matchup you've been wanting to talk about, the one that we are about 24 hours away from, the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're in the final 24 hours without football.
Yep.
And I'm hoping you're going to help me with something because I've been racking my brain.
Prostate exams are for doctors, man. Leave that out of the show.
Oh, well. All right. Well, I mean, I was going to talk to you about that off the air, but.
Nope, not going to talk to me about it at all.
But okay. The Dallas Cowboys are 8.5-point underdogs in Tampa. Now, as early as 24 hours ago, the line was 7.5. And well, actually, I think, maybe it was about 36 hours ago, it was 7.5. By last night, it had jumped up to 8. Today, when I checked, it's up to 8.5. I'm sitting here saying, man, if that line gets up to 9, I'm taking Dallas to cover the 9 points.
Hey, I think a lot of people were thinking this is going to be a blowout. I'm like, a lot of people forget Tampa last year in the first 2 games did not look stellar. They looked a little rusty, although they still won their games. They didn't do it in great fashion. I think we're going to see a little bit this year. And on top of that, you have some, despite what anybody says, and I know they have Brady, which is going to keep them up, but they're still going to have a little bit of hunger loss this year. So, I'm not going to be crazy about it. I'm not going to say, oh, they just, they're 50% now. About a 20% shave off the edge. They don't have that edge.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, so, it's a natural thing when it's like you're one of those guys like you've
now
never
you're the hunted. You're no longer hunting. Yeah. You're the hunted. And, Brady will keep them in check, which is why I still say they'll be about 80% hungry. Most teams will fall to about 50%. I think Brady will keep them at 80. Just enough for the Cowboys, I think, to make a game out of it. But I'm still a big believer come third, fourth quarter, that defense is going to wear the offensive line and the offense of the Cowboys down if they start coming with those speed routes and those blitz packages. I just, there's a part of me, and I said this last year, I think, I just don't trust what I see on the Cowboys yet. I don't trust what I'm seeing, like coach chemistry wise. I'm just not sold on it yet.
That makes sense. Yeah, I agree with you a lot there. I do think this is going to be a Tampa win, but I think much like last year, they're going to start a little sluggish, and it's just. But I think in the end, the Bucs will beat the Cowboys. I just don't think they'll cover that.
What kind of score you thinking?
I'm thinking I think this has potential to be a little sloppy. First game of the year usually is. I'm thinking like a 27-20.
Oh, okay. You're close to me. I'm thinking 14-24.
Okay.
I'm thinking about a 10-point spread.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a
goal. Yeah. I think the Cowboys offense will keep them active and eat up a lot of clock so that the Bucs aren't blowing up the score. But I think when the Bucs are on the field, they will move the ball. I just think, the Cowboys will eat up enough clock. We'll see. Look, like I said, the Cowboys have never been great out of the gate, and they seem to respond when under pressure, which means typically they almost have to fall behind to feel like they need to play to their talent level.
Yeah,
and by then, if you're playing a good team like the Bucs, it's too late. And that's what I think is going to happen in this game. You'll see a last surge out of the Cowboys where you'll be like, oh, hey, kind of like they did to the Rams in the playoffs. In 2000, I think it was 18.
Yeah, they fell behind big and came storming.
Yeah, and they almost came back. And that's how the Cowboys, that has a lot to do with Jerry Jones's mentality of it's almost like they need to have their backs against the wall to step up and play who they are.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I could see this being like something where like midway through the third quarter, we're looking up and Tampa's up 24-3, and then it ends up like a 27-20 matchup.
Yeah. You'll see some junk points there at the end, some junk field goals probably, something like that. But in the end, as much as a Cowboys fan I am, I don't live in denial either. The Bucs are still the same team they were last year with just better chemistry. The only thing that alters that a little bit is a little bit of their edge will be knocked off. But past that, you're still dealing with a juggernaut of a football team and coaching staff.
Yeah, I totally agree. Todd Bowles is a hell of a defensive coordinator. One of the best I've seen. And, Byron Leftwich, a hell of an offensive coordinator. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get serious consideration for head coaching positions.
Well, I think, honestly, I think the reason he didn't is Tom Brady's age. They wanted to put someone that Brady would respect out of the gate, who's been a seasoned, proven winner in the NFL and not an up-and-comer, where Brady feels more like the coach than the coach.
Well, I'm not saying he should be the coach of Tampa. I'm saying
You're saying he more in the league. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was very surprised. Well, I'm surprised that a lot of teams, when they don't go get that young, sharp mind now, because McVay kind of put that in the league's kind of mind. Hey, go kill Kingsbury, your coach, Jake LaFleur, that it became like a trend. So I thought the Bucs would pick up on that. I think if they didn't acquire Brady, I think they would have gone with a different coach and just kind of rebuilt and started over fresh. But with Brady, if you don't have that seasoned coach in there, Brady's essentially your head coach.
Right. I think another guy that's going to be a head coach somewhere else in the league at some point is your guy, your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I have been hoping that Mike McCarthy is out and he's the up-and-comer. It's what happened to, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, and a lot like the Patriots, Jerry Jones likes to keep it all in the family if he can, so to speak. So if he can keep someone who's part and loyal to the Cowboys already, that's what he wants. Unfortunately, that's cost us a little bit with Campo and a couple of other coaches. Bailey we picked back in the day. He picked them because they'd been around the Cowboys organization so much. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, he understood the Cowboy way.
Yeah. He was trying to recreate the 90s a little too fast by keeping everybody together. So he's like, if I'm going to lose players, I'll use the same coaching. Problem is that coaching didn't have the same good players, so they couldn't pull off the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Helps when you still got top talent. That's for sure.
Yeah. Talent still wins out in this league.
Yeah. And there was a debate. I was watching Big Blue, the story of Jimmy Johnson, of how many Super Bowls would have the Cowboys had they won had Jimmy Johnson still remained the head coach. And I tell people, don't get crazy. A lot of people are like, 7. I'm like, hell no. I was like, we probably would have got 5. I think 5 is what we would have pulled off. The last one would have been like scratching and crawling for it, but we would have got it, and it would have crumbled after that either way.
Yeah, look, I think that 49er team that was put together the year after the repeat, that was just they were put together 1 year, beat the Cowboys, win a championship.
Yeah, because they couldn't maintain their roster anyways, salary-wise, after that.
Right, and I think that still would have happened, but I think then the Cowboys win obviously in 95 because they did anyway, but I think they probably win in 96 and maybe again in 97.
Yeah, I think they would have beat that 49ers team with Jimmy Johnson.
See, I think that 49ers team was put together specifically to beat the Cowboys, and I think they would have done it. I think that Packers team would have never gotten over the hump over the Cowboys with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jimmy Johnson was still there.
Yeah, man, I don't I think some people get a little too caught up in the idea with Jimmy. I'm like, look, Jimmy Johnson, if you paid attention to his career and his mentality, even if he had kept winning with the Cowboys, he wouldn't stay there forever. He's not that type. He would have moved on.
He would
you'd have to watch enough interviews with him to understand how he is. He likes to go there, do it, and go, I've done it all, I'm out. That's the way his personality is. He's not the hang around until I'm fired guy.
Do it here.
Yeah. Same thing with Miami. He said, I started to basically dominate with Miami, and I was like, I'm ready for something else now. He's like, and then I got a phone call from Jerry Jones.
Right.
So, and he said, I will never take off my Miami ring until I can replace it with a Super Bowl ring. And that's what he did. For those who don't know that. He literally wore that ring. He said it was like a second wedding ring. I refused to ever remove it unless it was replaced with a Super Bowl ring. Yeah. Even had a ceremony to do it. Yeah.
All right, guys. That is it for tonight. Anybody watching on any of our plethora of streams, feel free to leave a comment, maybe make your selections for week 1. Tell us how right or wrong we are. And, we'll be back here next week to focus all on what we got right and deny anything we got wrong. And
throw your Bucs-Cowboys score up tonight.
Yeah,
before the game or tomorrow, and we will mention you on air in your score.
And either we will point out how wonderful you did and how close you were, or if you got it exactly right, or we will laugh at you in a very mocking fashion if you were completely wrong, like us.
Exactly.
All right. Everybody, have a great night. And on this football eve, everybody, all I can say, happy football.
Peace.